Well, hello and welcome to Chaos. This might be a special little episode. Again, it's the start of we're reflecting 2025, looking ahead to 2026. But this is just, message founder to founder to the founder community. I meet with a small female founder peer group at the end of the year and for the last couple of years. We've done vision boards and then we choose a word to reflect what we want our year to be. And in 2025, my word was ascend. I was imagining momentum, elevation, maybe even a clear sense of up. What I didn't fully anticipate was that ascension wouldn't feel dramatic or visible. It would feel, I didn't feel like this ascension. What I did feel was more developmental. I felt things more quietly, more foundationally, and I felt transformed. So this year really wasn't about arriving to this like peak place, but it was really about growing into clarity and getting really clear on who I am as a founder, as a business leader, my place in the community, and then clarity around my business of Bright Marketing. What defines that our brand there? Where do we show up? How do we show up differently and refine everything? And then same with Orange Whip and Hello Chaos. Like, what's our place? How do we show up? What's our value? How do we tell our story? So this year was, yeah, we ascended. I ascended. I fully felt that. But again, it was more quietly transformative. I explored curiosity in deeply human ways. I had the aha moments of, curiosity was the foundation when I started the agency in 2013. The corporation name is Curiosity Inc. But for whatever reason, I was talked out of it to be the agency name, to create a name that we DBA'd up until for over 10 years, we DBA'd as Bright Plus Co Marketing or Bright Co Marketing. And it was really about, finding the best and brightest people and tools and partnerships in each of the marketing disciplines to serve the business community in a different way, in a modern way, in an agile way. That was always our model. But for whatever reason, I was talked out of curiosity being the name. So I DBA'd. When a couple years ago we recognized of, let's not stumble, let's make it clear. We're Bright Marketing. Yes, we have a community, a collective, a consortium, the hybrid, the model still exists, but let's not give people things to stumble over and let's simplify our message and just be bright. Bright Marketing. And so, yeah. And we've always been an ROI driven, a data driven agency. But really, when we looked at where do we stand out against the noise, because it seems like that becomes everybody's mantra. Digital agencies that are just web only are saying they're data driven. They're not. They're just building a website with some Google Analytics, or SEO companies that are just looking at the search performance. We really look at how do we transform and create impact and help a company accelerate by understanding where their friction points. Is it in the brand? Is it in the marketing engine? Or is it in ad campaigns? But it takes a level of curiosity. You have to be led and fed by curiosity in order to make those transformative differences for small and medium-sized companies. And that's where we double down on. And so, yeah, we explore curiosity in myself, the companies. Doing for myself personally, it was about many adventures and spiritual practices and daily walks and movement and healing and a lot of reflection, hiking waterfalls to dunes to doing sound healing and reading scripture daily to walking for water, walking for wine and cocktails, reconnecting with lifelong friends that I haven't seen in 30 years, and exploring meaningful things beyond just productivity. I created space to experience life rather than rush through it. So these moments weren't escapes. You know, Looking back, these were all inputs that fueled perspective, that fueled more empathy and presence for myself. So Like I said, I do the 641 challenge, which if you follow our podcast, I talk about that a lot. So I don't just try new habits, I try to create more routines and disciplines quarter by quarter. So finding consistency in daily LinkedIn writing or growing bolder with 90 bold acts and 90 bold voices, anchoring days by reading my scriptures every morning, and then daily walking, which I will continue. I need to figure out going into next year what is going to be my new quarterly habits. But these aren't huge things. These aren't big headlines, but they really did reshape how I show up, more grounded, more confident, giving more intentionality about my day, but also just progressing what my week's going to look like, what my month's going to look like, what's my quarter going to look like. So that's what those habits did. This year, 2025, as part of like that ascension, the ascend word was a year of clarity. Again, more than scale. I really refined my personal brand, not by becoming really louder or being everywhere, but just really becoming more genuine, feeling more confident in my skin, becoming more truer. Then, I stopped trying to sound like who I thought I should be and started trusting the leader I already am, and reflecting back to go, why did I not have the confidence 10 years ago to do things? But yeah, now I fully appreciate my experience, my competence. I have more confidence in that competence. So it was a great year of clarity. Again, Bright found sharper focus and language. Orange Whip evolved from more of an idea into a clearer purpose and a clearer platform. My thinking around branding and marketing ecosystems and engines, curiosity, leadership, and then founders become more integrated and more generous, is where we found ourselves. Um, so, if I'm honest about my word ascend, I don't know that I ascended in the way that I imagined. I didn't reach any kind of a peak, or I don't know if I felt dramatically elevated where I started. Looking back to what I wrote, it's interesting, even on my vision board, the things that I had on my vision board did come to life. Just maybe not where I thought it was going to end up, but I did grow again in confidence and clarity and courage and compassion for myself and trust in my voice. And growth, it turns out, is what makes ascension possible later. And, we talked about the year of 2025 was the year of the snake. I guess for me to ascend, I really had to shed a lot of things and get clarity. So 2025 was not about climbing higher. It was really about becoming stronger, clearer, more rooted. So I'm ready. I'm ready for whatever comes next. So I can build upon that. I can accelerate on that. 26 is the year of the horse. That is the year of momentum. That is the year of running. That is the year of action forward. So I feel like my themes were really aligned so well. So if looking ahead, I'm working on my vision board. My peer group is meeting next week, and I'm already thinking of like, what's going to be my word? What do I want to put on my vision board? So, like I said, last year, ascend, what what do I want 2026 to be? Thinking about different words of, is it becoming, where that might capture the essence of growth and motion, living my vision, embodying my next self. I thought about maybe embody should be my word. That emphasizes alignment of values, habits, and identity with action. Or maybe it's integrate. We talk about a lot around Bright and companies. You need to be aligned and you need to be integrated. Do I need to have that for my word? That reflects weaving together all the layers of learning, layers of experience and creation. Another word I thought about was manifest, where that focuses on translating vision and growth into more tangible results and impact. Two other words that cultivate was another one. Is that growth, patience, intentionality, nurturing habits, planting seeds, really building on, my own personal ecosystem. Another word would be, radiate, because, have I shed enough to have that clarity in order to, really fully embrace the year of the horse, of that momentum. So is 2026 the year of radiate? So I can illuminate the world around me, have energy and confidence and movement, which I really like that word. It's active and it's visible. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure out, do I have a single word? But I'm on the fence of the two. Maybe I love radiate and I love cultivate, and maybe radiate is the year for visibility and expression, showing the results of my growth in ascension. Or um I don't know, is it laying the soil for what comes next with cultivate? I don't know. So I'm thinking I might do both words. I mean, I write the rules on my own vision, so why not choose two words as my mantra, as my, because I do feel like I'm still growing. So I feel rooted, like I feel like I still need to cultivate, whether it's cultivating in myself, but also cultivating connections, cultivating relationships and nurturing relationships. But I also want the radiate and the illumination and the energy of just having radiating into the world. So I wonder if those two words play on each other. I need to cultivate in order to radiate. So maybe cultivate is my internal word. So to nurture the habits, skills, relationships, and mindset that shape the person I want to become. Tend to all the growth with patience and intention, and then radiate externally. Let the work, let the energy and clarity that I've cultivated, let that shine outward through my work, through leadership, through the community and the connections, speaking engagements, the guest podcasts that I go on, even on the Hello Chaos podcast, building our greater community. So radiating through the communities that we build, creating impact there. So that 6-4, so then I look ahead to go, okay, how does the 6-4-1 challenge fit perfectly in there? What are the many adventures do I want to look ahead to experiment, or the habits that I want to adopt and embrace to become that, like the act of cultivation. So, working on that, 6-4-1. So ideas, send them your way. So I think 2026 might be the year about tending, about growing, and also about shining layer by layer, day by day. 2026 to be the year that I turn intention into action to make the life that I want tangible. But I know it's going to be step by step, day by day, quarter by quarter. But I'm looking ahead to 2026, and I hope you all are too. Adopt some of those habits. Try a 6-4-1 challenge. Do a 1-2-3 journal. Do a vision board. Or if you have a vision board, do a becoming board of what does that look like to become the person that you want to become. So we wish you all at Hello Chaos and Orange Whip and at Bright Marketing, we are wishing everyone, our founder community, the ecosystem builders, the small business owners, the creators, the innovators, the chaos wranglers, we are wishing you all a year full of growth, full of light, and all the small moments that make it shine bright. So happy New Year.